addressed by the chairperson of all cluster committees, Zabuka, who asked for an audience with the Minister of Finance so that cluster leaders could present concerns and recommendations collected during their deliberations. Smart Jalika with the details.
Mwanamveka said the meeting with cluster chairpersons will provide an opportunity for members to submit their proposals, and adding that government is ready to consider possible changes to the budget where necessary. He stressed that engaging parliamentary clusters is important in ensuring that the budget reflects the needs of Malawians.
We do welcome the question or the observation made by the chair of chairs that indeed maybe because previously we used to meet chairs of committees. We used also to meet chairs of public accounts and also chairs of budget. But this being our first budget, obviously we'll make sure that we meet them. And actually, I've already committed that we'll meet them, because it is very important that when the budget comes here, all the chairs of the committees need to know what is in the budget and to be able to debate and perhaps know in terms of oversight when they go back home.
In his response, the chairperson of chairs, Zabuka, welcomed the minister's decision, saying this is the first time cluster leaders have been given such an opportunity to directly engage the Minister of Finance on the budget. He commended the Democratic Progressive Party DPP government for the initiative, saying the consultations will help improve the budget and ensure smooth implementation once it is passed by Parliament.
I was appealing to the Minister of Finance to grant us a platform where the cluster chairs should give him a feedback on how the discussion has been, and so that then if there will be adjustments or some justification on why they can't adjust, we should understand it as their clusters. We know the country is going through some financial challenges and that the budget is already in a deficit, but there are other areas which we feel will help to improve our economy if that is implemented in the budgets. So the discussion with the 229 members of parliament and all the stakeholders involved for the past 2 weeks is what we want to discuss with the Minister of Finance. But I'm happy that for the first time, the Minister of Finance and this government have made that provision that we are going to have that discussion. If it's not exactly today, but maybe tomorrow.
This will be the first time in history for Minister of Finance to have an audience with cluster chairpersons getting their views on proposed 2026-2027 national budget. Smart Chalika, MBC, Parliament, Lilongwe.
Minister of Transport and Public Works, Japim Hango, has disclosed that the poor condition of some roads in the country is due to failure by the previous Malawi Congress Party government to properly maintain them. Mhango made the remarks in Parliament while responding to questions from members of Parliament during question time directed to his ministry regarding the state of roads across the country. He said lack of routine maintenance in past years has contributed to the deterioration of several roads, making them costly to rehabilitate. He assured Malawians that government has set aside funds aimed at improving road infrastructure as well as plans to revamp water transport.
The Malawi Congress Party, the former government, did concede that during their time they were not able to raise enough money through fuel levy, the money that is used to maintain roads. As a result, therefore, all our roads have been damaged. And I did indicate at some point that if we have got roads standing in this country, out of all our roads, perhaps only 2 or 3 are still standing. The rest are destroyed. So both tertiary, secondary, as well as primary roads, all of them are gone. So as a government, we are already planning to start maintaining these roads beginning this financial year. Procurement of contractors, maintenance contractors have already been done, signed off. All we're waiting for now is for the budget to be passed, and once that's done, we're good to go. We would want to make sure that we maintain roads that have been damaged at least by 31st December this year, and that's the guidance from the President. We must make sure that all those that have been damaged have been maintained. But that will be happening side by side. As we are maintaining roads, also we'll continue building roads that are probably stalled. Those that are continuing, all of them must be, being built simultaneously. So basically that's where we are headed to.
On the issue of revamping water transport from Nkhotakota Central?
Correct. That is part of the National Transport Master Plan that was launched by the President, Professor Zabuka Tarika, in 2017. The plan speaks to all modes of transport, so be it air, road, rail, as well as maritime.
Minister of Information Shadrack Namalomba has asked the Malawi Congress Party to explain why cases of missing persons with albinism are often reported when the party is in opposition. Namalomba made the remarks in the August House on Tuesday afternoon after Member of Parliament for Lilongwe Pirilanjuzi, Peter Dimba, raised a point of order on the disappearance of a boy with albinism in his constituency. According to Namalomba, abductions and killings of persons with albinism have in the past been reported when MCP was not in government, a situation he said raises serious questions. He warned that anyone involved in such malpractice will face the full force of the law once apprehended.
Every time when the Malawi Congress Party is in opposition, that's when we hear stories of people, of our brothers and of our sisters, of our mothers and our daughters with albinism being butchered, going missing. And we are wondering. And we have statistics. When we were in opposition, not a single person, not a single case was registered. But immediately they went into opposition and we went into government, we see people, and these are stories that every day, and exactly today, there is also a story of a missing person with albinism. And we are wondering, and so we want to ask Malawians, if politics is like this, that when you are in opposition, you would want now to use the suffering of people so that you gain political mileage, and this is not politics, this is not life, this is not humanity. Investigations underway, the police is attending to it, and very soon you will see what is going to be happening. Because the government of His Excellency Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika is an inclusive government. It wants everyone who is a Malawian in Malawi to enjoy the fruits of democracy.
Meanwhile, Dimba informed the House that the missing boy, identified as Tibiliro from Chimgonera village under traditional authority Masumbankunda in Lilongwe, has been missing for 5 days. He has since called on government to intensify efforts to locate the child and ensure the safety of persons with albinism in the area.
I had an opportunity to bring to the attention of the Deputy Speaker as well as the Honourable Minister of Homeland Security and the entire House about the missing of a young man in my constituency, Lilongwe Pirilanjuzi, coming from Chingonera village around Pirilanjuzi Trading Center. This young man went missing 5 days ago. We reported the matter to the police, but so far the search has yielded nothing. And we are very worried, very anxious, because we don't know what might have happened to our friend, to our brother, to our kinsman. So that's why I just had to sound the SOS in the House to the Speaker and the entire House.
Malawi Bureau of Standards says it is impressed with the compliance of major shops in terms of quality and standards in Mzuzu. Chadwick Nyanga, MBS Senior Quality Monitoring Officer, said this during the Mzuzu City Market surveillance exercise. Meklina Chira has compiled this report.
According to Nyanga, the Bureau conducts quarterly inspections to ensure that shops are complying to issues of quality and safety standards. He further said they are targeting all shops in Mzuzu City, although they haven't found any shop which is not complying with the standards.
So far, the shops which we have visited, it seems they are meeting the specifications. We have visited 2 shops, but so far we haven't found any non-complying products.
So far, the Bureau has inspected a number of shops in the city. Meklina Chirwa, MBC News, Mzuzu.
This is MBC News, a reminder of our top stories. The Malawi Electoral Commission is now officially verifying the results of yesterday's by-elections for the 4 constituencies and 9 wards at the National Tally Center in Lilongwe. Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development says Eid al-Fitr prayers will be held either on Friday, March 20 or Saturday, March 21, 2026, depending on the sighting of the moon. And a recent analysis by the Employers Consultative Association of Malawi reveals that the cost of living for a standard household has gone down by 4.7%. Welcome back. The cost of living for a standard household has gone down by 4.7% in February this year compared to the preceding month. This is according to an analysis by the Employers Consultative Association of Malawi, ECAM. Justin Nkweu has more in this report.
According to the analysis, between the period January to February 2026, the cost of the basic needs, excluding transport expenses, decreased from 929,025 kwacha in January to 881,732 kwacha in February. When transport is factored in, the total cost of living decreased from 1,029,025 kwacha in January to 981,732 kwacha in February 2026, representing the overall reduction of 4.6%. The drop is on the back of a decline in food prices, which decreased by an average of 7.16% from 695,120 kwacha in January to 645,323 kwacha in February. This is in line with the National Statistical Office inflation rate report of February this year, which indicates that the rate dropped by 0.8 percentage points from 24.9% in January to 24.1% in February. The decline in inflation rate is also as a result of a decrease in food inflation, which stands at 20.8%, down from 22.1% in January 2026. Meanwhile, Standard Bank PLC Chief Executive, who is also Bankers Association of Malawi President Philip Madinga, believes this is a good sign for the economy.
I like what the new government is doing. We don't have a program, but their posture is like we have an IMF program. And that's what we need as Malawi, where we apply austerity measures, we ensure we understand that Europe, America and Asia, they are focusing now, whether it's defense, on their own economies. So our resolve as a Standard Bank is that we want to make sure that we support productivity in the market. So whilst I think that's a risk that we face as a country, we're also mindful that we need to play a role to make sure that we support sectors that enable recovery.
Recently, monetary and fiscal authorities in the country have been placing different measures to ease the cost of living. Justin Nkweu, MBC News, Blantyre.
The Malawi Electoral Commission is now officially verifying the results of yesterday's by-elections. As of this morning, officials from 3 constituencies and 5 wards have arrived at the National Tally Center with the result. Director of Media and Public Relations for MEC, Tamvani, in a statement, says they will also be reviewing complaints that may have been logged alongside the results. The by-elections took place in 4 constituencies and 9 wards. Mwaflira explains.
Well, following the by-elections that took place on the 17th of March, the result management processing is continuing. We have had the constituencies tally the results overnight, and today some who have concluded the processes have started bringing their results to the National Tally Center. So far, 3 constituencies and the 5 wards have brought their results. So when the results are brought at the Constituency Tally Center, we process them. The Commission looks into 3 things. 1, the results themselves, the results sheets, and makes its determination. At the same time, considers any complaint through the examination of the record complaints book or any other complaint that might be lodged at the National Tally Center, and also examines the void results in the event that the difference between the first candidate and the second placed candidate is less than the sum of the void votes. So when these three processes are concluded, that's when the commission can release the results. So this will be the focus of the commission for now, up to the time it's done with all the results from the 4 constituencies and the 9 wards.
Meanwhile, unofficial poll results indicate that Ojazake Alibe Mlandu candidate Clavel Dabalaba Mhango has won the councillor's seat in Luwinga ward by election. Blessings Gondo reports.
According to the unofficial results, Clavel Dabalaba Mhango of Ojazake Alibe Mlandu amassed 1,119 votes, defeating his closest challenger, Thomas Kaunda of DPP, who got 586 votes. MEC District Elections Officer from Mzuzu City Council, Pilani Simukonda, says polling and counting were smooth and peaceful.
In Mzuzu City Council, particularly Luwinga Ward, the elections have gone on fine. Everything is okay. We didn't experience any challenges despite the rains in the morning, but they didn't affect us. They may have maybe affected the voters.
Despite the low turnout, mainly due to heavy rains, National Initiative for Civic Education Programs Officer for Mzuzu and Mzimba North,
Isaac Jomo Osman reviewed this in Blantyre during a tree planting exercise at Njamba Park in collaboration with the Football Legends Association and Gelax Paints. Osman says the reforestation exercise is just one step towards reclaiming Blantyre's lost beauty, and there is more to come.
The way we see the park is being dumped, no one is looking after it. So in our plans, we want to make Njamba to become the park that people, when they are coming to Blantyre, they need to come and see. We have a lot of plans that we want to bring in new things at Njamba. We want to put some good summer arts, or we want also to put some walking tracks. We have a lot that we are thinking, and we are looking for investors to come and help us on that. When people are talking about Blantyre, they don't talk about the other institutions, they talk about Blantyre City Council. So it's our duty as Blantyre City Council to look after all the places that people have dumped. When people are seeing Njamba the way it is, they will not say housing, the ones who are not taking care of Njamba. They say Blantyre City Council is doing nothing. So as Blantyre City Council, we have come up with new plans where we want to look after all the places. Even I can talk about the museum. We are talking about the French culture. We have a lot of things that is being dumped. So Blantyre City Council wants to come in and renovate all those places to keep the people of Blantyre happy and feel that they are in safe hands.
Yang Chimodzi is a representative for the Football Legends Association of Malawi, and he said the initiative is aimed at averting the impact of climate change that has hugely affected Malawi.
There are many things that are happening, especially in the cutting of trees. So we felt it's a good thing for us to plant more trees so that we can have a good future even for our children who are coming. And there's a combination out of it because we need to breathe good air, so it also helps, especially when we're sweating.
Old Mutual Malawi says it invests in education and youth development as part of its contribution towards achieving inclusive and equitable quality education. The company's head of operations, Brenda Fire Chimwale, said this in Blantyre during a ceremonial send-off for 6 youngsters who will represent Malawi at the Africa Spell Bee competition in Harare, Zimbabwe.
Well, education is very close to our hearts. As a responsible business, we believe in supporting the communities which we serve and which we operate in. We already support education in terms of our Old Mutual Blantyre Foundation. We support skills development. We support bursaries for secondary schools. We also hold mathematics Olympiad. So when we heard about the Malawi National Spelling Bee, we knew we had to be part of it to support these young stars to have their chance to thrive and to shine at the Africa level. This team, we supported with a monetary donation of 5 million kwacha, which we're trusting will support them to at least get to Zimbabwe. I think investment in the youth is very important. That's the only way we can develop. It's one of the ways we can develop our society and our country. And to start developing at the young age, we feel is very important. It also aligns with the SDG goals and Malawi 2063. So education is definitely a pillar towards development for our country, and that's why it was important for us to provide support.
Meanwhile, Chief Operations Officer for the Malawi National SPELB, Andrew Chiko, says the team is well prepared and confident of delivering a strong performance at the competition. The team, comprising 1 girl and 5 boys, has left the country for Zimbabwe. Melville Kajasiche is part of the Malawi team.
Education, if you don't travel, you are not educated. So you need to travel. That exposure, it gives them more that kind of experience to understand how the world is. And mind you, these ones are going to be decision makers tomorrow. A decision maker saying something about Zimbabwe, saying something about South Africa and other countries, you find out that such kind of decision makers, they will be knowledgeable, and they will make correct decision based on what they experienced, what they know, and what they have read. So with that, and at the very same time, as they are competing from different countries, you know, everybody wants to be number one. Everybody wants to do better. What will happen is what? These young ones, they will end up working hard in school. Not only that, we are going to promote the reading culture. And above all, you know what happens? Those who are sponsoring them, they will even feel better because they will know that they are achieving what they wanted according to their objectives. So we really appreciate, and we're very grateful to Old Mutual, who they are the first people. We reach to so many organizations, you know how things are.
In sports, Morocco have been declared the winners of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations after the Confederation of African Football, CAF, overturned the result of the final following Senegal's controversial walk-off. Senegal beat Morocco 1-0 in the final on 18 January in a match which was overshadowed when the Senegalese players refused to play after the hosts were awarded a stoppage time penalty with the match goalless. Following a delay of around 17 minutes, the players did eventually return, and the penalty was saved before Senegal scored an extra time winner. However, that result has now been overturned after a decision by an appeal board at African football's governing body. A statement from CAF said that Senegal are declared to have forfeited the final match, with the result of the match being recorded as 3-0 in favor of Morocco. The Senegalese Football Federation said it would appeal against CAF's decision at the Court of Arbitration for Sport. And that item wraps up this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories. The Malawi Electoral Commission is now officially verifying the results of yesterday's by-elections for the 4 constituencies and 9 wards at the National Tally Center in Lilongwe. Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development says Eid al-Fitr prayers will be held either on Friday, March 20 or Saturday, March 21, 2026, depending on the sighting of the moon. In a recent analysis by the Employers Consultative Association of Malawi reveals that the cost of living for a standard house has gone down by 4.7%. For the latest news, follow our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You've been with me, Hilda Ngomano. Thanks for watching and goodbye.
Ndikulandireni kuchokera kulikonse komwe mukuonera kanema wa MBC. Iyi ndi program ya Unpacked ndipo tsiku la lero muli ndi ine Justin Mkwewo. Programu ya Unpacked timakhala tikukambirana zinthu zosiyanasiyana, koma kwambiri timasendera ku nkhani yokhuzana ndi zachuma. Ndiye monganso mwa nkhani zachuma, sabata yatha lachisanu nduna ya zachuma a Joseph Mwanamveka anapereka ku nyumba ya malamulo kuti kodi ndondomeko ya zachuma akufuna aboma kuti itayenda motani